Welcome back, everyone! I'm still innocent! I swear, I'm the most innocent person I've ever met in my entire life! End quote! What am I talking about? I don't even know! Oh my gosh, is that depressing things? Also, I'm guilty of braceletism! Oh no!
The victim, Drew Misham, had an aversion to reporters.
Is that true? Boy, I guess not even my considerable charms did much for him, until I finally got my thumbs up, that is.
Maybe you can elaborate on that a bit for us.
A part of his story to get his interview. End quote.
Exactly what sort of story was this?
Oh, a little one, like I said. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing in between. End quote. Obviously, I lead on this particular story, but I didn't threaten or cajole any or nothing, honest.
So a suggestion was enough to get an interview? Mr. Mission must have really wanted to keep it under wraps.
A story concerning a certain case from 7 years ago.
A certain case 7 years ago? Tell us, what case?
Let me say one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case.
Why not?
That's about journalistic pride and staunchess and credibility and connections. Journalists reveal sources only over a dead body, end quote. So what'll it be? Gonna strangle me? Dead man don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney.
He sounds pretty determined not to talk.
Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good.
Or is it?
I don't know, but probably has something to do with it.
On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related?
Oh, well, I was just saying it's possible. Call report situation, end quote. Hey, I say...
Excuse me. That was a burp, by the way.
Hey, I say a lot of things. You're going to pick all of them apart. Might be my guess.
All of them? No. Just the incredibly suspicious ones. I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Misham?
Say what you will, but Drew's talent was about to compare.
Just how amazing was Mr. Misham's talent?
Huh? Hoo-wee, boy! I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star! The flow of the brush is like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artist painted life of studio like sun, end quote.
This guy's full of wacky gestures. But that one just now was wackier than usual.
He looks kind of nervous to me.
Well, I almost just went into Brushell's voice for a second there. Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here. Maybe it's time to bring out you-know-what.
That testimony left a bad taste in my mouth.
It all makes sense. Nothing jumps out as ridiculous.
I wonder what his story he's talking about is. It must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that. Something powerful enough to drag Drew Misham out of hiding. I wondered. Maybe it had something to do with Mr. Misham's art? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, you said that was suspicious, huh? Well then, I guess it's bracelet time. I'm ready to see what we got going here. Anything goofy here? I'm seeing nothing yet, anyway. Do his ears wiggle? I wonder. Come on, man! Come on, man! Alright, hear it again. I guess let's look at the throat again, shall we? I mean, when has that failed us before, right? It usually does not fail. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on here. I see nothing. No. Are we gonna be doing this again? You even said this looked suspicious. What's suspicious about this? I see absolutely nothing. Okay. Alrighty then. Was there anything else I could, like, examine? Like his arms, perhaps? I don't know, everyone. I just don't know. I don't see why any of these would move, but you never know, I suppose. Nope. Nothing was elbow. I wish I could move a little bit faster, though. I mean, what if I missed something completely suspicious on accident, huh? So what do well, but Drew's talent was out of compare. Well, he knows something, doesn't he not? Does he not know anything? Okay, no, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna look at this arm, because I didn't look at his arm on this part here. Anything weird? Like maybe he's moving his shoulder all goofy and whatnot. Like, I don't know what's going on here, man. And then nothing here. I mean, I don't know, man. You just never know. Maybe he could be moving his elbow or shoulder, something, anything. Is it something with a toothbrush, perhaps? Maybe I just gotta look at the toothbrush very specifically. Like, oh, you're moving it somehow. I don't know how you're doing that, but you are. You just are. Yeah, I don't think he is. Well, this sucks. I don't know what to do. To look at something completely different, I suppose, now. I don't think he's opening his mouth any differently than he was before. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That sucks. It really does suck here. A testimony about the bad taste in my mouth. Wait, but he just said... So yeah, at the end of the whatchamacall, he literally says something about this one, though. So let's see, that's... Wait. Story concerning a certain case from 7 years ago. Maybe I gotta go for... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Maybe this one? I mean, again, that's not the one that he said, but I don't know. He was being kind of suspicious about it. Where exactly am I supposed to be looking for this testimony here? Nope. 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 I don't know, everyone. I'm not that good at this now. Or maybe I am. Maybe I'm really good at this and I just don't realize it, huh? My gosh, I can see why people don't like this here, because it's so confusing here. Hold on, everyone. I'm going to go back to this one real quick. And Apollo, you specifically said there was something off about this, right? So, if there's something off about this, maybe his cheeks move? Do his cheeks move by any chance? Like, is there like some really subtle movement that I just don't see? I don't know. I mean, he does have like this weird... He does have those weird pink cheeks, so I don't know. Maybe there'd be something odd about that you notice. Not his ears. I don't get it. I don't get it. Does his tie move? What if it was his tie that moved? I don't see the movement of your tie, man. How do you move your tie anyway? You don't have any connections to your tie? I mean, my gosh. It's like, oh, I can do that somehow. Some way. It's kind of amazing, isn't it now? No, it's not. You're awful, man. You're completely awful, Brushel. You're the worst. I just realized why his name is Brushel. It literally just came to me, like, as I was saying his name, Brushel. Like, oh, there's the toothbrush right there. So what if the pen did something? What if it just started moving for no reason? Like, oh, I see what you did. You moved your pen when you started saying without compare. Oh, jeez. That's great, right? Why am I off track here? I don't get it. I don't get it here. I need help here. I need assistance. I probably need a pause or something. You get like sweaty armpits or something whenever you start saying this. Maybe you get sweaty. Hey, you get sweaty armpits. Wait. Okay. Wait a second. I think I just saw something though. Let me see this again. I swear I saw something just pop up when he said that. Say what you will. Yep. Okay. I freaking gosh dang it. Confirmed. Dude, he gets really sweaty armpits just randomly for no reason. Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Oh yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, you know? It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. Ah! You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous! Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. It just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Well, are we presenting the forgery here, or not the forgery? Are we presenting the stolen painting, or are we presenting the so-called forgeries? I guess I'll go and present the forgery, because, I mean, that's... I don't really know. Please be right! I can't help but wonder what the court is supposed to conclude from this evidence. Oh, that he's making a forgery, and that's his talent, apparently? Oh, then you made a horrible mistake! Man burns bridge, begins to cross first, end quote! Let's try it again. All I have to do is realize... Freaking, it's stupid! That had the forgery, man! Showing the talent mentioned in this letter. Fine. I see how it is. Maybe it's this, right? Come on. I almost presented the letterbox in complete accident right there. Like, oh, jeez. Hidden painting. Oh, I don't get it. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is that it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in that studio, which looked exactly like this one. So why was that not part of the answer? Come on, game! There's so many times where there can be multiple things, or you can present the same thing to multiple things. But yeah, this is not one of them? Why not? Come on, game! I don't get it. It was exactly like this one, except it was only half done. No. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000. Which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. Again? Why was the first one ever then not correct, huh? Oh! That's a good freeze frame right there. Oh man, dude, he's dead now. Ow! That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone! Can we get this private, please? That's my story, my scoop! Forgery. That's a serious crime. Your Bishop is known as an artist these days. Whatever rumors, he died on another kind of art until a few years back. Another art? Meaning forgery? Drew Bishop was talented, alright? Talented in making precise, detailed fakes. The fact that certain criminal elements were quickly discovered. Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly, I'm talking about forging evidence. Rumors started circulating 7 years ago. 7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for... Exactly! Forged evidence, that's a tiny profit, end quote! Order! 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 Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. Aha, this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about. This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation. But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here. But there is no proof tying this letter to our case. ... Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey! The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews! Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid! Journalism so solid you can stand an elephant on it! End quote! In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo! What's he talking about? The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please. Witness testimony, the interview, a recap. The only other person in that studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during that interview was the mud. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. A nice testimony, clear, succulent, and without room for doubt. Ah, shucks! You really think so? I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination. Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. And that would be... what? Exactly? What is your trump card, man? Are we playing poker again? No, the president of that studio that night was the defendant. And you, good sir, but, you know, sure. Sure, let's just pretend that you didn't exist anymore. You don't even exist in this entire universe, right? I knew it! Anyway, moving on then. That doesn't prove Vera poisoned it. How many times have we heard that one, Herr Forehead? The poison reached its victim via the coffee mug. And from where did the coffee come, Not to beat the dead horse again and again, but perhaps you could fill us in? Come on, you need a dead horse beat, I'm your man! It was Vera who poured that coffee. She admitted as much herself. And you witnessed her pouring the coffee? Of course I didn't witness it when she came in with that tray. The coffee was already poured and it's even.
Let us not forget the defendant has admitted to pouring the coffee herself. I heard a statement. I poured, I served, and I killed.
What?
That last part was just a little joke.
I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with this coffee mug. I need to find another weak spot in this case. You don't think that Drew slipped that interview with that mug? You're sure about that? Well, to be really precise, I was busy gobbling mint and candies the whole time.
Really, the mint comes from the candies and not the brushing of his teeth?
Oh, come on, Klavier! I didn't even get to read that!
At the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room, and no mint residue was found. ... It was a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof, the possibility's there, I can feel it. Maybe not prove it, not yet. The possibility isn't going to cut it for not now. Mr. Mishram ingested that poison via a route other than the coffee. I can't prove it, can I? I don't know, man. Did he eat a photo? Huh. I can prove it. Proof is possible. I gotta risk it. Oh, excellent. Let's see your proof then. Please show us your evidence. What evidence shows that the victim wasn't poisoned via his coffee mug? I really kind of have to try this, I guess. I don't know. So was I wrong? Must I explain this over and over and over? We don't need possibilities here, Herr Forehead. We need proof. I know that. You should also know that every proof has its moment. Perhaps you're a bit early. I can tell you what we know at this point. The victim put nothing to his mouth but that coffee mug. Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything. But first things first, I better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again. On with the cross-examination. So I actually didn't get punished for that. That's interesting. Maybe they acknowledge that it was a... Maybe they just acknowledge it like, oh, you know, we're not going to punish you for this one here. Okay, so let's go back to this one real quick. You sure about that? One of those candies might have been poisoned. Okay, I see. I see how it is now. Anyway, moving on. I can't yet. It can't be proven. I do believe our little forehead is growing up. Our little forehead. Pity. We liked the rash, youthful forehead best. Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything. But first things first, I better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again. On with the cross-examination. And nothing like that studio after he died, nothing! Not one thing, you're sure? Yep, sure can be! Well, with one exception. One exception? What? Through Spark and Marshall does interview. Leave studio. End quote. Come on! That's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Did someone leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? I don't know, but I'll say one thing. I think one thing might very well have left that studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean... something other than our witness? Of course. Don't tell me, Vera Misham. Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice. Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene. In the mailbox, right? This is the only link between that studio and the outside world. Hey, letterbox. What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on that night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true! Furthermore, you went on to tell us they put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah. But that very same letterbox was empty, in other words. That night, the yellow envelope disappeared. Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well then. The witness will add this to his testimony. You got it! I still think this falls to change anything, Herr Forehead. Change anything, I mean. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. The letter was put in a post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. Nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from the studio. And you were hiding that fact from us. Oh yes, well actually... I don't argue the possibility that the letter disappeared from the stat studio. But Herr Forehead, isn't that a much more serious question before us? Right, how Mr. Misham was poisoned, I know. But Mr. Brushel's testimony's changed, which means the facts of the case have too. And what he's told us means something entirely different now. I'm starting to think. Let's keep thinking, Apollo! Clearly the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. Oh, is that so now? You say clearly as though it were obvious. As if the difference was so obvious, right? But this claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture. Ah yes, well you see! And my business is all about making the most ridiculous things sound right! Bad habit, I know! Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Yes, well actually, I guess this is more a case of a ridiculous journalist sounds wrong, end quote. The court is forced to agree with you. Please refrain from wild conjecture. Understood loud and clear! If only I could believe that. What do you think, Apollo? Everything he's saying seems so not flawed. Well, that's kind of what you want from a testimony, really. I need to keep my eye on what matters. How and why was Drew Misham killed? Very poorly coffee, and that's not going to change. But that coffee didn't kill him. I need to find what did and prove it. And how are you gonna go about doing that, Apollo, huh? Okay, so the new testimony was the letter from the... So this one right here. A letter was put in that post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. Does it now? Does it hardly matter? But how do we prove that? How do we prove that? Honestly, how do we prove that, everyone? I don't know. I don't know anything. Does the Grimari envelope prove anything, perhaps? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is exactly what proves... But it's not yellow! I mean, if it was yellow, I'd understand something, but it's not. So... The autopsy report's yellow. Maybe that's what proves it, huh? Well, I don't really know, actually. Clearly, the only one who could... Okay, so the only thing that touched Drew's lips during that interview mug... Did I even present the... whatchamacallit? I wonder, actually. It was very poor the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. I don't know how to prove things, everyone. How do I prove a thing here? May I go and present some... Or not present. May I press everything again? I don't know, everyone. I just don't know. I'm getting that point again, and this is the point where I get stuck, and it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should do that or not. Should I present some random things to that new testimony, perhaps? Will anything prove anything, perhaps? No. I don't know. Maybe I do have to open that. Maybe there's a yellow envelope inside of that envelope. It could be a possibility, I suppose. I don't know. I just don't know, actually. Alright, I get you, man. And I'm gonna be like, no, there's no proof of anything, of course. You ingest the route other than coffee. Why was I not able to skip that? That is oddly suspicious. I didn't get anything new, did I? No, of course not. I doubt it. Not yet. Wait, if I say prove it, and then I go to that, proof is possible. Here goes nothing. Why would I don't get it. Sure, yeah. Maybe it is. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, Herr Forehead, not possibilities. Of course, and Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. What did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. Now let me skip this, so, okay. I saw him writing a letter, I did! Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp, As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use that glue, you have to wet it. By licking the stamp. I'm trying to see where he's coming from now. Fact. No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all. Okay, so he licked the stamp, but wait. How does that explain the atropine on the rim of the coffee mug? If he licked the back of the poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put his coffee mug to his mouth, Dot, dot, dot. Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order! 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 But that doesn't... does it? Recall, if you would. Atropine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips up to that cup of joe. Oh my gosh, we found the answer! You have something to add, Mr. Brushel. Uh-oh. His nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Bishop sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Then he has a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just run out. Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one. ... That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible. Ha 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 ha. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that this proves this the existence of this poison stamp? Right here, of course. Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection, so what? Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atropine residue! What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe 1 inch wide at most. You aren't saying. Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Or just a really small photo, I don't know. Order! 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 A poison stamp was in this frame? Impossible. Prosecutor Gavin, Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. Can I say something I had thought I see?
What, Mr. Russell? And please stop jittering around like that.
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote.
So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Really? He hits the wall right after doing that? Okay. I don't care if that wasn't even... I don't know if that was the first time he's done that or not, but... Because, you know, I don't pay attention sometimes, but still, though, I just noticed it right there. Like, he hits the wall right after doing that. Why, Klavier? Why? Oh, Rich. That's Rich. These are ridiculous fights. A fancy to the Gavinier's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
Oh, I disagree.
Come again.
Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail.
The mail?
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
Oh, what is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling!
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed.
Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death.
I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. Well, is it perhaps something related to this randomly? I don't see how that would be, actually, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, is that a stamp right here? I don't know. I don't know, everyone. Anyway, though, let's see. But this one has a stamp on it. So it has a stamp on it. Wait, no, I can't check that, though. I can't check that! Well, I don't know. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. How? How? How would you go about doing that? I do wonder, actually. Would it be... I don't know, everyone. Maybe you just... Wait, just for the letterbox, right? Am I making this too complicated? Is it too easy? Or am I underthinking things and it's really not the letterbox? How am I thinking this through? Huh. Well, let's just rip apart this question, shall we? I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. He sent in the letterbox, right? No? Dot. I'm not sure it's entirely clear to me what this proves, Mr. Justice. Huh? Am I wrong? I believe we have shown probable intent to kill. Except the killer would be Herr Judge and the victim you. Yerg! Consider that a warning, Mr. Justice. Think before presenting next time. Yes, Your Honor. Let's think this one over again. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham. Well then, this? Isn't this the envelope, the one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of the letter again. Which, we can barely read that. There are 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp. Your Honor. In other words, if I have this right, the stamp poison on the stamp, lick, gasp, end quote. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he put it in his letterbox.
50 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing his letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Such a splendid imagination you have, Herr Forehead. ... Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poisoned stamp was inside the envelope from 7 years ago. Yeah? Is that what you really have us believe, really? Well... It is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility! Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well... it was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence, I see. Very well, I move too. It's not nice to pick on Oh, we're gonna see who this is on the next exciting episode! Everyone, I will see you all later! Bye-bye!